Tonight is the night. Bright lights, high crowd. Yeah, we came to throw down. Everybody get loud. Tonight is the night. A-list can't miss when we burn it to the ground. Everybody get down. Tonight is the night. We stay climbing while our faith kept rising. Steady climbing, now we on top.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to my review for last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, the October 19th edition, the go-home edition for the upcoming Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on October 25th. Did World Wrestling Entertainment do enough last night to get us hyped for Hell in a Cell coming up on Sunday, or was this just another subpar, mediocre edition of Raw in the fall? Let's get into my full thoughts and opinions, and by the end, we're going to have a grade for this episode of Raw. So, we kick things off with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes, the glass shattered, and my God, was it great to hear that music again. The iconic Texas Rattlesnake returned in Dallas, Texas to kick off Raw, and it was great to see Austin on Raw. It's been over 4 years since we've seen him, and you know, he was playing off the crowd, and they were doing the what chants, and I pretty much was just there to plug his podcast, and, you know, he's interviewing Brock Lesnar after Raw, and then he introduced The Undertaker, and we never saw Austin again. So I kind of felt like this was a missed opportunity. I wish they did more with not just Austin, but with, if you're going to bring these legends, you know, back up to Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair, at least have them something to do. And it feels like they didn't really plan this out, and they kind of just used them as sparingly as they could. So I was a little disappointed with the way that the legends were used tonight, especially considering how hyped I was for this episode of Raw. But The Undertaker did make his way to the ring. And he got on the mic and said, basically, Lesnar, when you step inside Hell in a Cell with me, you're going to get hurt, and you're going to get hurt real bad. And we're going to have a war, and I'm going to take you to hell, going through Hell in a Cell. And then Lesnar and Heyman came out. Heyman got on the mic and pretty much said that Undertaker was lusting after getting his revenge finally, you know, after Chapter 1 at WrestleMania. You're still jealous that your streak was broken by Brock Lesnar, and then you had to take the cheap, dirty, low blow fashion, you know, hitting Lesnar in the nuts at SummerSlam, and, you know, then making Lesnar pass out, even though Taker first tapped out at SummerSlam. So this controversy will be put to rest at Hell in a Cell, and this rivalry will finally end. And then, you know, Taker kind of called Lesnar on, and, you know, Lesnar started to make his way to the ring, and it looked like they were both going to go at it. Lesnar jumped up to the top, you know, into the ring. Didn't step into the ring, he just jumped onto the ring, and then Heyman eventually was able to back Lesnar off, and they just had a tense stare down. So I like this opening segment. I mean, hell, you had Heyman, Lesnar, Taker, and Austin. So it was a pretty great way to kick off Raw. And from here, I felt the show kind of went downhill a lot. I was really bored throughout most of the show last night, because we had the Dudley Boys teaming up with John Cena to take on the New Day. And we've seen this match before, and I can't really tell you much what happened. I wasn't really paying too much attention to this match because we have seen it before, and it wasn't really a long match. It ended very abruptly. The New Day, you know, Xavier Woods was in the ring, and he was able to get a roll-up amid all of the chaos that was going on inside the ring. And, yeah, the New Day got the win with the roll-up. And then afterwards, the Dudley Boys put Woods through a table, and they're still scheduled to just have a singles match at Hell in a Cell. The Dudley Boys versus the New Day. It would have been nice if they would have upped the ante and made it a tables match, and I don't like how they keep putting members of the New Day through tables, because I feel like you should have saved that for the pay-per-view and made it something you wanted to see. But now they're just going to have another singles match, so I don't know what they're doing with the Dudley Boys and the New Day. So this match was nothing special. So that is what it was. Then there was a backstage interview with Dean Ambrose. He was interviewed, and we found out that Randy Orton was taken out by members of the Wyatt family. And Luke Harper was also missing tonight. And we later would find out that Eric Rowan would return as a part of the Wyatt family. And it would be a 2-on-1 handicap match that was originally scheduled for the pay-per-view, would be happening tonight. It would be Ambrose taking on Strowman and Harper, or Strowman and Rowan. And they interviewed Dean, and he pretty much said he'll do what he has to do, and he doesn't care, because he's freaking Dean Ambrose and he's awesome. So that was to come later on in the show. Then we had a Divas tag team match, a women's tag team match. We had Sasha Banks and Naomi taking on Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox. All I can tell you is Team Bella picked up the win, and it was another women's tag match. I just wish they would break these teams up and allow these women to go on their own and develop their own characters and personalities. Enough with the team stuff. I am sick to death of these. I'm sick of six women tag matches. I'm sick of Divas tag matches. Do something different. It's the same stuff week after week after week after week. So this match was nothing special. You're not going to remember it. All that you need to know is Team Bella. Nikki got the win with the rack attack to finish off Naomi. Then we had Shawn Michaels come out. It was great to see him. The crowd was kind of flat for HBK coming out, and I can't really blame them because they just saw two matches that really weren't nothing special. But it was great seeing the Heartbreak Kid there, and he pretty much talked up how Hell in a Cell this upcoming Sunday, and he talked about how he was in the first Hell in a Cell match and how it's a grueling, sick, twisted, perverse structure. And he got us hyped for Lesnar and Taker and Reigns and Wyatt inside the cell. But then Seth Rollins' music hit. He came down to the ring and said, you know what? He said that his match versus Kane would be the match that everybody would be talking about. And he pretty much said that I'm the new Shawn Michaels version 2.0. I'm actually better than the original. He's pretty much belittling Michaels, getting into his face. And him and Shawn go back and forth, and Shawn pretty much said that, I was considered the greatest wrestler of all time, and I didn't have to imitate anyone. I was myself and became, who I am by being unique, by being me, by not choosing to imitate anyone else. And Rollins was eventually about to leave. He was like, hit my music. But then Shawn informed him that you have a match up next against Ryback. So this was an okay segment. I wish it was a little bit more serious. Shawn was kind of joking around a lot. But I liked seeing him and Rollins together in the same ring. But I felt like this moment could have been so much more special. And it just, I don't know, just the overall tone of it could have been done in a more serious manner. It made Rollins look like more of a threat. And we had Seth Rollins take on Ryback, and who knew Rollins finally would able to pick up a win. It really wasn't that fast of a match. I mean, the only highlight that I can remember is when Rollins did the suicide dive and he sent Ryback into the announce table. And, Rollins would focus on Ryback's midsection, and he was eventually able to get the win in a pretty quick it wasn't a long match. Rollins was able to win with the pedigree. It was great seeing Rollins get the win because they've had him lose week after week after week, and it's just been ticking me off, but I felt like, this would be, I wish they still had enhancement talent, like jobbers, because Ryback did not need to lose here. He needed to, to look strong heading into Hell in a Cell. So both guys really did not need to lose. So I don't understand why, you had to book this match in the first place. Back in the day, they would have, jobbers come out, and Rollins would have faced one of them, and he would have beat him in quick, decisive manner, and it would have made Rollins look strong. Nobody cares about the jobber, but in this case, it made Ryback look weak heading into his match versus Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Championship. So it was okay. It was nothing special. Then we had a 6-man tag team match featuring guys that they have no idea what the hell they're doing with. All talented individuals. It was Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville taking on King Barrett, Sheamus, and Rusev. I love all these guys. I just feel like they have no idea what the hell to do with them. They're all talented. They can all bring something to your product, improve it, and make it exciting to watch. But instead, they just throw them into this random, 6-man tag team match. It was a fun match, but there was nothing really to care about. I mean, Barrett, Rusev, and Sheamus were able to get the win after, Ziggler was in the ring, and actually a highlight from the match was when Cesaro was in the ring, and he was able to hit some uppercuts back and forth to Sheamus, and who knew it? The crowd was getting into it. They were getting behind him, and Cesaro almost set up Sheamus for the swing. So the crowd can and wants to see Cesaro succeed. Maybe if you would give him an opportunity, push him into, say, the U.S. title scene, the IC title scene. I'd like to see him go for the world title, but I know they won't do that. I mean, I think a Cesaro and Seth Rollins feud would be awesome. That should be what's probably happening at Hell in a Cell. That would be a great feud for the title. It would be something different, and it wouldn't be freaking Kane versus Seth Rollins, something that I have no interest in seeing. So, Ziggler was in the ring. He got hit with the bro kick on the outside, and then Barrett was able to get the pinfall on him. And then it was announced that this match will be happening again at Hell in a Cell on the kickoff show. So, what I would like to see is, since they're not doing anything with Sheamus and Barrett, I'd like to see them as a tag team. I think they could really bring something to the tag team division, and for the longest time, I thought they could be a good tag team. So why not? You're not doing anything with them now, and Neville should be gunning for that IC or US title. Come on, I mean, please. And then I said with Cesaro, I'd like to see him in the world title scene. You do the same with Rusev. What about a Rusev and Kevin Owens feud? Or, I don't know, something. Come on. I mean, it was just lazy just throwing all these guys together in a 6-man tag team match. It was fun, but Then we had Nature Boy Ric Flair make his way to the ring, and he pretty much was just there to introduce Roman Reigns. So again, I felt like they did not use these legends. If you're going to bring them in, at least have them do something memorable. But no, Flair was just there, and he introduced Reigns. And Reigns arrived to the ring, and the Wyatt family came out. And then Reigns decided to bring 2 chairs into the ring, and he invited Wyatt to sit in the ring, face to face with him. And Reigns said, "You have these big guys to protect you because you're scared to go one-on-one and fight me." And then Wyatt kind of had enough of hearing what Reigns had to say, and then the Wyatt family tried to make their way into the ring, and then Dean Ambrose made it down for the save. And then we later find out Rollins is with the Authority in the back, and there was a match made. It was going to be Reigns and Ambrose taking on the Wyatt family, a 2-on-3 handicap match. But then Rollins later, in this backstage promo, said that no, I'll help Reigns and Ambrose tonight. So we actually had a Shield reunion on this show, totally out of nowhere. Caught me off guard, but I was excited as hell to see it. So it was going to be Rollins, Reigns, and Ambrose taking on the Wyatt family in the main event tonight. So I felt like the segment would have been better if well, there was supposed to be this prophecy that Wyatt was supposed to reveal to Roman Reigns, but apparently that never happened. So I don't know what that was all about. I was actually interested in seeing what the prophecy was going to be, but apparently we never found out. So, but it was great hearing that the Shield would be reuniting in the main event. Then we had Charlotte versus Brie Bella. Wasn't really too much of a match. Charlotte got the win via the figure eight. And then afterwards, there was a backstage promo, and Paige was being interviewed by Renee Young, and Renee asked her, people were thinking that you were the one, Natalia got attacked on SmackDown on Thursday. People were wondering if it was Paige that attacked Natalia in the backstage locker room area. And then Paige pretty much said, she said maybe it was a diva from the past. Maybe it was a Lita, a Trish Stratus, a Alundra Blaze, a Caitlyn, what have you. And Paige was getting very upset and didn't like these accusations being thrown at her. And I actually thought it was a pretty good promo and showed some fire and aggression in Paige. Because Paige is one of my favorite women on the roster. So that was a nice promo to see from Paige. So the match was nothing special, but the backstage promo was really the highlight of this segment. Then we had Kevin Owens take on Mark Henry. And it was a fresh match. It was something different. It was good seeing, something different on the show. We get so sick of seeing the same matches over and over again. So it was a refreshing change of pace. Henry was getting in Owens' face, and Owens was, taking a lot of Henry's offensive moves. And eventually, he was able to hit a couple of his signature moves on Henry. And the one part of the match I liked was when Owens was getting in Henry's face, and then Henry said, "I've been a bully for 19 years." So that was nice to see. A little fire and aggression from Mark Henry, because I always liked Mark Henry, and it was kind of sad that they're having him just job week after week. So. But Owens was able to hit a pop-up powerbomb on Henry and get the win. And then after the bell, Ryback made his way to the ring. Looked like him and Owens were going to fight. Owens attempted to retreat, but Henry threw him back into the ring. And then Ryback was able to hit a powerbomb on Owens to end the segment. So it was it was okay. I wish they would give these guys, again, a stipulation to up the ante for their match coming up on Sunday, because it's just going to be another singles match, but we'll get into that with my predictions videos, so coming up later this week. And then we had the Wyatt family take on Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And this was a great way to end the show. It was surreal seeing Rollins, Reigns, and Ambrose in the ring together. And, there was a lot of dissension, a lot of bickering back and forth, before the match started. Who would start the match? But Rollins started the match. And, it was just, it wasn't as great as the previous matches between the Shield and the Wyatts, but it was still a fun, a good worked match. Ambrose, when he was in there, he took a lot of punishment. He eventually attempted to make that hot tag, but then Rollins, he said he had a knee injury and he went to the back, so it was just Reigns and Ambrose to take on the Wyatt family. And then eventually, when Reigns was in the match, after Ambrose made the tag to him, Reigns found himself in Strowman's grip, and it looked like Reigns was going to be done for, but then Ambrose ran out to get the kendo stick, smashed it in the back of Strowman, and then Strowman took the kendo stick and broke it over his knee, and then just a crazy brawl happened. Ambrose suicide dived over the top rope, but was caught by Rowan and Strowman. And then Reigns did his, he flew over the top rope onto the Wyatt family. And it was great seeing these guys focused on rather than, say, Kane and Rollins. There was no Kane tonight. He was suspended by the Authority. So this was a pretty fun way to build up the excitement for Reigns and Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell on Sunday. And I am still looking forward to that match. So overall, this show, Raw, I'm going to give it a C plus. It was just your average. It could have been great. I feel like they didn't maximize the use of the legends, and just overall it kind of dragged at times, and I wasn't really excited throughout all 3 hours of Raw. So yeah, I'm giving it a C plus. So yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on Raw. Click that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content coming to this channel. I will be doing my NXT review on Wednesday. I will also be doing my Hell in a Cell predictions video on either Friday, most likely Friday, and then I will be posting my review for Hell in a Cell, and there will be live reactions for several of the matches on the card, so be on the lookout for that. A lot of content coming to this channel, and I will be giving my thoughts on the Stone Cold podcast that aired directly after Raw with Brock Lesnar. So with that, thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone that watches my videos, and with that, I am out. Peace.